Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling all right. I think it was just a smart decision. Didn't feel like had the pop, and started to feel a little bit where just I'm still hopeful to play tomorrow, but just need to make a smart decision where I definitely don't want to re-aggravate it and miss any more time.
Still a possibility that you won't play them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just gonna continue to do everything in my power to play tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes the rest of the day today, tomorrow, and yeah, I mean, of course, I want to go to battle with these guys, but I think everybody in here, Sens fans, they don't want to see something nagging and take away from my game for the next 24, next 25 games. So just maybe take the time for one more just to be ready to go. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Are you able to share exactly what's ailing you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's lower body. I don't want to necessarily get into exactly what it is. It's of course nothing major, and but it's just something that's just nagging where rather address it and be ready to be an animal for the next 25 games.
Did you wake up good to kind of see everyone on the ice still today, back at it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just to be part of this group is it's always been special, always been fun, and and I'm looking forward to getting back and really proving to everybody what we're all about.
Are you able to say when during the Four Nations you might have hurt? What have you hurt in your lower body?
Yeah, it was just actually right before I went to the post, made a move and felt it right away, and then just going into the post was just the aftermath.
We've hardly seen you miss any games with the Senators. Like, is this saying a lot about, just how tough that tournament was, how much you're dealing with this injury?
I mean, we were talking those 3-4 games. You played with the intensity. It felt like you played 40. So, yeah, just the price you pay for trying to do whatever it takes to win.
Did you wake up this morning hopefully get through a full practice, or what was the approach today?
Well, the point was I skated before and just to get out there, get moving, get warm, and felt good. Of course, didn't try going too nuts and potentially re-aggravate. And then got out there, and the plan was just do the flow drills, and that's about it. And it was nice to kind of get that pace back, but the pace wasn't exactly where it needs to be to have success.
Brady, you guys have a long way to go to make the playoffs still, but how much of a taste of playoffs did you get by playing in that Four Nations, of what it could be like?
Well, everybody kept saying, all those guys that played Game 7 Stanley Cup, that's right there with the feeling that they had, and so I think just getting that experience, getting that, I don't know, I feel like it was so valuable lessons, and that I've taken, and honestly it's changed a little bit about my approach to every single day, and what I've learned that I feel like it's going to be valuable that I'm going to bring to this team and into the next 25, 24 games.
On Spitting Chicklets, you mentioned that you think you've left hockey in a better place now this week than it was last week. Have you gotten texts from people you wouldn't have expected in the States, in North America, just talking about the game of hockey and their impressions of you?
Yeah, I mean, even like social media too, I was, people are reaching out that they've never watched hockey before, but they're tuning in for those games after and really cheering us on and really just, I guess loving the game of hockey. And that's kind of what that tournament's all about is it's in the middle of the season. You have, pride from each country. And I think the end goal is just to grow the game and reach people that normally wouldn't be watching hockey, and I think we did that, and the game has grown, and I know it's the same quote, but I really do believe that the game is better now than it was 2 weeks ago.
Any notable guys that reached out to you, though?
Well, a lot of guys reached out through us, my dad, some of the staff from former USA hockey players, and the dinner we had Mike Ruzzioni, Rob McClanahan, Mike Modano, and some guys from the '96 U.S. World Cup are reaching out and saying how this has been such a great opportunity to they grew the game for our generation, and this tournament was a perfect opportunity to grow the game for the next generation, and that's what excites me is about the potential new players that kind of are going to come around in the next 10, 15, 20 years that were watching this and wanted to be hockey players.
Obviously, it doesn't take much for anyone to get going for a Canada-USA matchup, but we know those matchups these last few weeks had a big political backdrop with what's going on. What was it like for you as a player to kind of navigate through that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Austin and I are in a unique situation. Of course, we're captains in Canada, but whenever you're able to wear and represent your country and put on the USA jersey and just a different feeling. You're playing for your country. You're playing for, of course, your family, friends, and the people that sacrifice so much to give us freedom and things that people that we would never know the sacrifices they make just that we can do what we do, play hockey, and just to be able to represent those people, it was a true honor. It was really special.
How are you going to balance, like a couple guys mentioned after Saturday, how much they missed you in the lineup? How are you going to balance this injury with knowing how important this push is coming up?
Yeah, well, I think the guys in here know that a 50% Brady just no, it's I don't want to keep that 50% for the next 24 games. I realize the importance of these games, and I'm really excited about it because I know what we're going to do in this room and what we're going to provide to the city, and I've got nothing but confidence and faith in this group, and maybe it takes an extra day to be 100% and be ready to go to show everybody what we're made of, and show kind of everybody that that tournament wasn't a fluke for me individually, and I could play like that for 24 plus games.
You were saying just the takeaways, take away from that whole experience with USA. Like, what were some of the changes that you were mentioning you think will be kind of different in your approach going forward after a taste of that?
Well, it's just all those guys are, of course, captains, assistant captains on their own respective teams, and just seeing the approach and the mindset that I think 3 out of the 4 games we were down 1 early, and it's like it didn't matter, and just the confidence in each other, the trust, and just being resilient was something that really stood out to me. That it didn't matter what the score was. It's the faith that you have, for yourself as a player, but everybody was such professionals and just nitpicking guys. In the room, getting warmed up, just the preparation that guys had is something that really opened up my eyes, and that, it's just doing whatever it takes to win. Of course, everybody went into it not knowing what to expect, but I think the way, everybody played, the way everybody was doing whatever it took to win, that I think it really stood out to me and stood out to the character of our group, but every team was battling through something, so it was pretty cool to see.
What can you say about the way Jake performed and sharing some of those big moments with him?
Pardon me?
Sharing some big moments with Jake, his 2-1 goal.
Oh, yeah, he was, I've said this, I know you guys know how special of a player he is, but for him to showcase worldwide about he's a top player in the NHL, and I'm just happy that, he proved, I guess, me right all along, that I knew he was that, but show everybody else in the world, and even guys on our team are coming up to me and just saying how awesome of a player Sandy is. It's I was really honored and special to have a friend there and a really close friend that we go to battle with every single day here, but to him to be able to represent our country together was pretty special.
We saw how much passion you played for Team USA. Was it weird looking at some of the fans for the Senators who were like, man, we just can't cheer for Brady right now?
Yeah, it was definitely a weird experience, I guess, that the people that have supported me right from day one to, I guess, not be supporting and rooting on Canada was a little bit different. I understand, and no hard feelings, but I'm glad to have them back on my side for the next 25 plus games.
What did you think of the fans who booed the U.S. anthem the last few weeks?
Yeah, I think it just every country's passion. Every country is was rooting for their own, and all that stuff is just a part of it, and I think that's what made this tournament special, is that everybody was all in on their respective countries.
What did you think of Matthew on the Tonight Show, which you'll be following yesterday?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He was already in New York, and he texted that he had the opportunity to do it, and I just think it speaks to what the game of hockey has been doing.
On the practice ice this morning, is it all systems go for tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll see. Today was a good day on the ice. Felt pretty good. So we'll see for tomorrow.
What's it going to take for you to get back on the ice?
I don't know. We'll see tomorrow.
I guess just how did it feel to kind of have everyone back there for the first time? And it seems like a little while that the whole team's kind of been out there skating together.
Yeah, it was good. Obviously missing some guys the last little bit. So always nice to get back out there with the team and get back into the flow of things.
Given that you guys are missing some key pieces, and it's just a really crucial part of the season, what's the internal dialogue on the team for making sure that the guys who are available get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you talking about injuries, obviously. Obviously, it's an unfortunate part of the game, and a lot of teams are going through it. I think you see it right now. There's a lot of teams that are banged up. And, obviously it's a tough time of the year. A lot of big games and big points, but, you got to dig down and find a way. And obviously we've, struggled a little bit the last little stretch here. So, but, I mean, there's a lot of hockey left, and, it's time to go on a run again.
Given that you were probably dealing with this injury over the break, like what did your break look like? How much rehab were you putting in just to try to get healthy?
Yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't sitting on a beach in Florida or anything like that. I just stayed here and rehabbed, and I just thought that'd be best for me to get back as soon as I could. So, not the most exciting break, but just doing everything I could to get back as quick as possible.
How antsy do you get through this? Just knowing like this stretch run. I mean, a lot of people in this room, you guys have been waiting years for an opportunity like this. So, how would you describe just the wait to finally get the all clear?
For me?
For you, yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously just never fun being out with, especially with an injury like that. It's just kind of happens on a weird play and end of a game and a nothing, 6-0 game. So obviously that was really frustrating for me. Thought it was, playing some of my best hockey of the year. But, it happens, and I'm going to have to, find another gear to just hop right back in and contribute and try to get us back to winning. Not just me, but everyone. I think everyone has to step their game up, and there's no time to dip your toe in. You gotta get right back in it.
You've been friends with Brady for a really long time. What were your impressions of him at the Four Nations, and even just the impression he made on America? Yeah,
I was really happy for him. I've obviously seen him, do some crazy stuff, but I don't think I was expecting that. I don't think anyone probably was really expecting the 3 fights to happen. It was kind of crazy. I was watching, and obviously Matthew goes first, and I was on the edge of my seat. I was at Shane's house with a couple of the other injured guys, and then Brady fought, and it was like a really weird feeling. I can't describe it. Like, I'm sure everyone kind of felt like this is crazy, Group chats blowing up and friends reaching out, and then the third fight. So I thought he represented our team and the country extremely well, and just shows how much fight he has and how much he cares about his country. So I was really proud of him.
Were you guys just jumping up and down during that game, especially given that you guys won?
I mean, not really. No, I wasn't like a little kid, but I was kind of had goosebumps watching it. Just really exciting to watch. I couldn't imagine what it felt like for those guys to be in that building and be a player or be a fan watching that. So that was one of the coolest things I've seen.
How did it make you feel also as an Ottawa Senator to watch Brady and Jake score in that final, and really represent the team so well?
Yeah, I thought, they both played extremely well. Brady was, one of the key pieces of that team, I think, and obviously Jake, just to jump right in there and play as well as he did, and obviously scored a big goal in the final game, and just showed, how good of a defender he is. And I think, everyone kind of sees that now. I think maybe he was a little under the radar before, but we all knew how good he was. So I was just happy for him to do it on a big stage, so I was proud of him too.
How hard is it for you guys if you might lose him for another game here, Brady?
I don't know exactly when he's, if he's going to be back tomorrow or not, but we'll have to dig deep and find a way to get a win. Obviously, be nice to get him back, but we'll just wait and see.
Coach, you're getting close to a full complement of players ready to go tomorrow, do you think? Lineup-wise, injured players coming back on the practice ice today.
Yeah, it was good. Looked good. A lot of guys out there. I don't know who's playing yet or not tomorrow, but it was definitely nice to see those guys on the ice.
Brady talked about how something's nagging him. He wants to be ready really for this next 24, 25 games. What's the balance with a player like that who really gives her all, making sure they're ready but not pushing them?
I think you nailed it, Claire. You have to balance it out. You have to make sure the player doesn't go in a game and then come out for a few more. It's an important time of year for sure, and obviously missing those 3 players is a lot for our group. But we're you're trying not to rush them back, but they all know the magnitude of where we're at, and they want to get back as fast as they can as well.
Was it concerning when you saw Brady leave practice a little early today?
Well, it wasn't a surprise. I was expecting that he might not go through the whole practice.
It seemed like good intensity in practice today. Just how does having those guys back on the ice kind of bring that within the group?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was having those guys or just how we want to play. Having a little more compete in our game, a little more desperation. I didn't think we had it the other night, and it starts in practice. And obviously, having those guys on the ice definitely brings a different element of skill and compete and ability to. They do a lot of good things, all three of those players, and move the puck up the ice quicker, and they defend well as well.
You stopped practice there once and had a chat with them. Is that about doing it right? Because if you don't do it right in practice, you don't do it right in games?
I can't remember when that was. I actually think I was complimenting them, to tell you the truth. Guys were working hard, and it was effective. If I'm thinking of the time you're talking.
When you pulled
Got
up
a
the
good eye.
glass on this side?
Yeah, I was complimenting them.
You sure?
That's my way of complimenting, yeah.
Okay.
What did you think of how Shane Pinto went through practice? He practiced a little bit for himself before the full session went on. He was wearing a red non-contact jersey.
Yeah, I thought he looked good. He's a good player. He looks good every time he's on the ice.
When could he be back in the lineup?
I haven't talked to the trainers yet. I've said it to you guys a lot. He's on the ice with us, so I don't know if he's in tomorrow. Can't tell you that. But he's closer than he was yesterday.
How optimistic are you about Josh Norris playing against the Jets?
Again, I'm hopeful, for sure.
At a certain level, do you prepare differently when you're about to face the hottest team in the NHL?
Well, I don't know if we prepare differently, but we take each game as it comes. Obviously, know the opponent that you're playing and their tendencies and how good they are. The players also know how certain teams are playing and how good they are, especially at this time of year. They know Winnipeg's a really good team that's playing well right now. It's going to be a tough challenge, but I like it when our team is challenged. We're going to have to bring our best tomorrow.
What has made the Jets so successful this year other than consistency?
Well, I don't study the Jets team too deeply, but looks like they have a really good goalie. Looks like they have a lot of good forwards and a lot of good defensemen.
Your team's bottom of the league in terms of shooting percentage. What do you think you guys can do to obviously find the back of net, but how much of that is opportunities? What do you see?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that. Our finishing, our shooting percentage, I'm fully aware of all of that. You can go to the net a little harder, you can stick around the net a little harder, get a little greasier when things aren't going your way. Confidence plays into it as well. I think we have some guys that historically have shot better than they have, and you also don't want to apply too much pressure to a player that might just be going through some bad luck, and it does feel like we have a few guys that might be in that boat, but when you're not scoring, a lot of times the best way to score is get to the net.
Piggybacking Alex's question, have you guys encouraged your defensemen to jump up and play more? I was talking to Jake Sanderson a little bit at that in practice.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot. I think it's a big part of offense now is getting your D involved. Obviously, it has to be done on possession. You don't want defensemen getting up the ice when you don't have the puck or don't have possession, but it is something that we've been talking a lot more about for the last couple months.
How much have you seen maybe a player like Sanderson kind of take that offensive load a little bit in terms of jumping up in the rush a little bit more and creating chances?
Yeah, I don't think it's just Sandy. I think our team is just we're a young team. We're getting better in a lot of areas. We've really tried to concentrate from day one as being a committed team away from the puck, and like I said, offensively, we've tried to work with our group on a lot of different things, and I think we are seeing some results as far as our D getting up the ice. But that's not a new concept for them either. They've been taught to get up the ice for a long time.
There's discussion about the Four Nations. Just making hockey more talked about in circles than ever before. Have you personally noticed an increased chatter in hockey, or even people that are messaging you?
Yeah, I think it's been great for the hockey world. I think, if they plan on doing that every 2 years or 4 years, that'd be great with the Olympics. And, a lot, even people in the States that don't know a lot about hockey have reached out to me at how incredible it was to watch. And, I think the more events that you have of that, the better. And it wasn't, I think some people might have thought it was going to be a little less competitive. I don't think people in the hockey world had any vision of it not being ultra competitive, but it was great for the game.
Do you think it puts the Senators on the map a little more, having Brady and Jake being such big parts of USA and on the team?
Probably, yeah. I mean, they're two really good young players that have a bright future, and we're lucky to have them. I've said that about both of them, and they're great players to coach, and nice to see when your players get on a world stage and do well. You're happy for them. You're proud of them.
Talk to Jake much about his experience in the last few days? Like, anything jump out about what he told you? Like, going from he was ready to go on vacation and now he gets.
Yeah, it was a little whirlwind. He wasn't sure if he was going to go on a vacation or not. And any time, especially a player like Sandy, who's wants to be great, wants to do good things, he's such a professional. And then for him to get into the games was real happy for him. I don't think people around the hockey world know quite how good a player he is yet, and he's still really young, getting better.
What have been your impressions of Nicholas Mountain's emergence, not just with what he's been able to do with the Four Nations, but just in the bottom of your lineup on defense?
He's played well. There's been a nice surprise. It's been you hope that within your organization you have guys that by the time mid-season rolls around, they've taken a step and maybe away from some other prospects and shown that they can play, and sometimes it takes opportunity to do that, but I think he's just kind of progressed from game to game, and it's been a nice addition. You need that. You need to have depth in your organization.
You mentioned him being a surprise. What did you know about him when you first came across him as a player?
Not a lot, to be honest. I mean, other than what the team told me, big guy that moves pretty well, and he's got a little bit of grease and sandpaper to his game, and a little bit older. And, I think as you mature a lot through, when you become, your mid-20s, you've got a lot more understanding of not only what it takes to make it, but in your own capabilities as well.
It's probably a question for management, but have you had much dialogue with Steve Staios about carrying a defenseman on the Barron roster right now?
A little bit, but we don't have to cross that line yet, and we'll figure it out when we do.
Is there a time, Jake Bernard Docker stays on the parent club, do you anticipate there being a time where a guy like him would have to get in the lineup when he hasn't played?
Again, I worry about the things that are in front of me. I'm not worried about when that time and moment comes. We'll cross that line.